He brought in a CDR of 2 tracks that he's never released, and that was one of them. I'm not on for a couple of weeks, but on the 23rd of November I'm back with John Bissett from the London Electric Guitar Orchestra, so we might play a bit of that before the end of the show. And haven't got a second guest yet, so if you're listening, you've got something you want to talk about, or an interesting record collection, email me, care of Resonance, and on Resonance, the space between the people we have on and the people who are listening is very small. So, in as much as last week when Mark was on, he brought a record in by some guy from Texas and played it, and the bloke was listening on the internet. So he was very excited. So or maybe you'd like to hear something you've done played. It can happen. Sorry, I'm eating a tune. I've got the SARS virus, actually. Yeah, I'm going to die.
You should have told us that.
I know. Anyway, never mind. But you can cure it with Hall's mentholypsis, they found. Yeah, it's a new breakthrough. Dan, we're again, as part of what I do is I come in here, I pretend I'm like a proper radio presenter. It's good fun. Yeah. So what I need you to say now is where this show, which you're ambivalent about people coming to, is on and what it's called.
Anyone listening to this station will be all right. Yeah, they will be all right.
Actually, they will be. Yeah. So you've got no worries here.
Yeah.
But don't tell anyone about it though.
Yeah. It's on at the Soho Theatre from Friday for a couple of weeks. At 9:30.
A made-up story.
A made-up story.
They should have some kind of written exam for the audience as they come in, and then you can say some of them have to go home.
It really is just a matter of time until when people walk in and go, what sort of music do you like? And they say, to be honest, it's not for you. I was doing a gig in Manchester on Friday, and I was in the toilet, and I heard 2 people outside the toilet cubicle talking about how they quite liked that band, Evanescence. And I was just thinking, to be honest, I'd rather you didn't come in.
Cubicle.
I'd very much rather that.
They're funny, aren't they? Because they're Christian.
Jesus
goths.
lovers, yeah.
It's really it's like funny because it makes you realise how completely similar this kind of the kind of iconography of kind of goth metal is to Christianity. Actually,
and good,
evil and good. Yeah. They're the same, and if they realised that, the whole edifice would come crumbling down. But she's like a sexy goth Christian, that woman. I mean, that's weird.
It's all manner of paradox.
Yeah. She's like, it's like whores for Jesus or something, isn't it? I'd like to have them on the show, actually.
On Sunday the 23rd.
I know. I'll see
Get them on.
If you're listening, Evanescence, come on and let's have a theological debate because I will win. Yeah, I mean, you get this though with you sometimes look at people in a crowd and you think, like, this thing I've got on now is in the West End. There's people coming in, they kind of eat sweets and they look at it through binoculars and they talk to each other. And I'm wondering, can you kind of whittle out some of that, but hopefully somebody else will come. And I don't know really. I don't know. It's difficult to know how you get through to people, and also it's more difficult now in that a lot of the immediate kind of communication links of fringe ideas, like Radio 1 used to have spoken word, BBC 2 used to have new comedy and arts on it, Channel 4 didn't used to be all game shows. It's kind of like, where do you... It's really hard to get across to people about stuff.
I just think that it takes a very long time. It's sort of, if you do want to try and sort of, and it is sort of massively, pretentious and self-involved, but sort of, if you do want to try and fill a room with people that you think you'd sort of like to a certain extent, then...
Have a birthday party.
Then basically, invite your friends. I just think it takes a very long time of really slow growth, of sort of people introducing people to it, rather than going, bah, bah.
I'd rather live in a world where people are allowed to go to the shows and they got their own mind.
Really? Mr. Happy Clappy Liberal, really?
You weed them out. They might like it. They might go. They might change their mind.
That's the other thing.
Absolutely, Absolutely, they might.
They might see you and they'll go, I don't like Evanescence anymore.
I'm not going out on the latch after this. It made me think.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you see, that's what you like to think, isn't it?
Well, you have to think that. Well, otherwise, what's the point of what's writing and performing anything for?
Well, not necessarily to change people.
Well, not. But I mean, do you think you're good at something and you think it's good what you're doing? Yeah. You not ultimately think that it has something to offer to everyone? No, I don't. No. It's great to hear.
No.
Because what I get on this is a lot of musicians coming on and saying, I think what I do is really interesting, and if only there was some channel of communication with the mainstream, I'm sure people would actually like this. Yeah. You're going, if there was a channel of communication with the mainstream, I'm sure people wouldn't like this.
Well, no, it's not even as much, as I'm sure they wouldn't like it. It's just that I don't particularly want them to have it. It's it's like that thing when you sort of get a piece of music that sort of you find and you really like, and then 2 years later it sort of turns up in the charts and you hate the people who like it. Then it's a bit snobby, but sort of my snobbiness is undercut by the fact that I do look very funny.
Well, that's an interesting thing as well about context sort of changing your act, because you always look like a crazy tramp.
Yeah.
But after you won an award, you were like a crazy tramp whose opinions were legitimised in some way. So it kind of, that was weird, wasn't it, for you?
Yeah, it was all weird. Yeah. Sorry. I just realised that I was talking into the back end of the microphone. Yes, it's all weird. Yeah.
But when you compare, you're legendary for comparing those really difficult club gigs at the end of a festival at night. Yeah. You get all sorts of people in there, most of them exactly the kind that you were saying you're worried about, and you managed to work them really well, and you clearly enjoyed the conflict. And probably weird. By the end of the night they go, well, I saw something good here tonight.
Yeah, they did, and I'd sort of, and I really like it when sort of if people say, oh, I saw you up in any minute, it was really good, and I said, what did you see? And then they say Late and Live and, Made Up Story. Sort of, that's perfect. But sort of, if people were to only see one of those things, I'd rather they saw a Made Up Story.
Well, now they can.
Absolutely.
It's at the Soho Theatre. Let's have a bit of music. This is from a really great new live album called Festival in the Desert, of various people in Mali playing a festival in the desert. This is one of these blokes that Damon Albarn's been hanging out with lately, Afil Bukum, and this is called Buri Balal.